camera. Okay, sorry. Alright, those on YouTube, if you're in, please say hello to me. Those on Facebook too, if you're in, please say hello to me. So I know I've got lots of problems with my internet today. I have no idea why. Yes, can you say hello? Or say hello to me, so I know you guys are there. I can't get any comments at all. Okay, Facebook, YouTube. I see you, Sean. Yes, Luke. All right, good. Okay, okay. For some strange reason, I cannot get any comments on my Facebook. Are you guys there? I'm gonna turn on my Facebook on my phone here so that I know whether it's a bug or okay. Hello, Luis SY. Good to see you. Yes. Okay. Okay. Oh wow. Actually, there are comments here, but I cannot read any comments here for some strange reason. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So, given like before we start, wonderful. Okay. All right. Thanks, Wyman. Thank you. For those people on Facebook, yes. So those who are on Facebook, if you have any issue, which I do have on Facebook, please go straight to my YouTube. I don't know why its experience there is better. Okay, Facebook tonight you really have some issue. First time here, not sure it's too late. No, I haven't start my talk. Okay, so I'm trying to solve some technology issues here, so just to make sure. Okay, good. Okay, I can read the Facebook comments on another phone, so you know, the experience is not as good. So it would be better if you guys just go straight to premium. Oh, goodness gracious. No. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Those are tonight. I'm going to do something a bit drastic, so please forgive me. For those on Facebook, please go to my YouTube channel, because I really cannot read what you guys are saying. Okay, and I want to engage because this is a time for This is the time where usually people panic. Okay, I want to set some nerves to peace, because I do see there's no reason why we should panic that much. Okay, Family Lee, good to see you. Michael, good to see you. So for those people on Facebook, if you have any comments, go straight to YouTube and make those comments. Okay, because I really cannot read your comments. It's a Facebook problem, not my problem. Okay, it's not even a bandwidth problem. So I can see your likes and all this, but I can't read your comments. So if you have any comments or any questions, please go to YouTube to make those comments. Okay, so those people on YouTube, when you come in, please give a like. Okay, first of all, I've actually prepared another set of slides to give another set of talk, okay, on Ukraine. But tonight the market went red hot that I got to jump the entire set of slides just to talk about this current situation. So I haven't prepared slides, but I think I want to talk through the entire CPI report that came out from US. So if you want to read the CPI report, it's actually placed as a link on YouTube already, and on Facebook. If you want to read the CPI report, it's under CPI plus one. You just put CPI plus one, you will get it. Okay. So the news just came out that the CPI is a convoluted CPI report and caused quite a lot of massive panic. Okay, and the whole stock market just went down because of it. I want to digest this CPI report together with everybody, just to calm some nerves. Okay, just to calm some nerves. I don't think there is a cause for that big a that I don't think it's a cause for that big a shock. Okay, so yeah, okay, cool. So you guys already at least blast a set of likes. Hey, Ruin, I can see your CPI +1. I can see some comments here already. Okay, so if you want to, if you want to get the CPI report, type CPI +1. Okay, okay, cool. And for those people, for some strange reason, okay, yes. So for those people who are ready, please tell me you're ready and I can start the talk. Okay. I didn't see a single ready, so okay. Hi Diana, good to see you. Okay. Eve, I finally see CPI +1. Kenneth, okay. Kenneth is ready. Okay. Sale to the time for shopping. Jasmine ready. Jacqueline ready. Christopher Yu, QY ready. Sean ready. Randall ready. Okay, good. Okay, I think we're ready. So the stock market fell big time. Okay, big time tonight. It's like let me see what's the latest account right now. S&P 500. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. Okay, the S&P 500 has fell by 3.3% tonight. 3.3%. Okay, 3.3%. Yes. And the Nasdaq has went down by 4.25%. Okay, this is technical. I will call this a crash. One day, this kind of movement for one day is a big movement. It's not a small movement. It's a very, very big movement. So before we start, I think it's important that whatever I share with you tonight is not as a buying or selling advice. It's what I tell you what I will do. And I didn't say that you must follow me or you should follow me. And it's more for education and entertainment. Okay. Each person's investment profile is different, so what is suitable for you may not be suitable for you. So all this stems from a CPI report that just came out, and the CPI report just came out is from U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. The whole report is here. Is quite technical, but I can read it to you. Okay. So the CPI, I'll just extract the gist of it. The Consumer Price Index for all urban consumer rose by 0.1% in August on a seasonally adjusted basis after being unchanged in July. What he's saying is that in July month on month, okay, in July month on month, it didn't change. Now in August, it went up by 0.1%. Okay, but year on year, okay, it went up by 8.3%. Now this is a very important statistics that the whole stock market is missing right now. What is last month's result? Last month's result was July CPI month on month or change. That means the consumer price index from June to July was unchanged. But year on year it went up by 8.5%. Okay. So the previous one was 9.1%, then it went up by 8.5% or so, I think, if I recall, 8.5%. Now it went down further to 8.3%. Okay, so year on year, the inflation rate is actually falling. But the entire stock market is oblivion to that number. Oblivion, it's like, cannot see. They only read the first line. The CPI went up by 0.1%. Okay, 0.1%. And how big is 0.1%? Okay, we don't the number speaks for itself. Okay, it's actually on the table here in the first row, and if you can see it, it's there. Okay, but I'll just read to you. Unfortunately it's a bit small, but in February it went up by 0.8%. In March it went up by 1.2%. April it went up by 0.3%. In May it went up by 1.0%. June it went up by 1.3%. Then in July it went up by 0.0%. That means 0%. In August it went up by 1.1%. Every one of these numbers were big, and then last 2 months were very small. What's the difference between 0.1 and 0? Yeah. I don't see it very big. Okay, to be frank. Okay, so I don't see it very big. And in fact, year on year, the number actually fell. Okay, the whole stock market, you see, the problem is that everybody read the headlines. The headlines is the CPI for all urban index rose by 0.1%. The whole stock market crashed. Okay, right. Then if you dig deep into the details, you found out that what caused the whole CPI to go up. Okay, the CPI, consumer price index, go up. And by the way, consumer price index, okay, is what it. First of all, maybe it's good to understand what the consumer price index is all about. They pick a typical basket of goods. That means that if Lu Ching Chuan usually take 3 plates of char kway teow a month, 5 plates of chicken rice, take 5 taxi trips, take 1 airplane, stay in the HDB, drive a car, whatever reason is, they then take let's say I'm the typical Singaporean or a US citizen. What they do is that they will sample all this basket of consumption up and measure the price change month on month. And that's why they have this very long list of things. Food they separate, food at home and food outside. And then energy, they have all types of energy, gasoline, oil, and electricity. And then you have new vehicle, used vehicles, apparel, blah 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 blah. And actually, if you read all this detail, you found that actually there's one big item that dropped big time. That's energy. Gasoline has fallen big time by 10%, and fuel costs have fallen by 5.9%. Okay, so yeah, why is it like that? 600 people viewing, only 159 likes. Can you please each give a like? Thanks for everybody who came in the first time. Please click a like. Okay, yes, on YouTube. And for those people who are on Facebook, okay, on Facebook, you can if I can't read your comments today for some strange reason, on Facebook is down, but I can read your comment on YouTube. So please go to YouTube and follow that. And those people on YouTube, remember to click follow and subscribe. Okay, subscribe, like, and the bell so that you get alert. Okay, so if you read in the detail, which very few people read the detail, I'll be frank with you, there isn't much thing in the month of August that went up big time, Yeah, food went up fairly significantly, but don't forget, food prices across the board has actually fallen. I think there's a lag effect, okay, they haven't kicked in yet. The one that went up a lot is electricity, pipe gas services. That has went up a lot, but the rest are medical services went up a bit in US, and new vehicles went up, although used car vehicles have gone down. Now housing, which is in shelter, I think it's called shelter. Where is it? Shelter. Housing went up by 0.7%, but across the board, housing prices have actually fallen. Okay, housing prices have actually fallen. This is I believe that this is this is a measure of rental. Okay. Yeah. So, sorry, what is this guy saying? Okay. So I think it's it's actually quite okay. Quite okay. I don't see this as a big drop. I frankly speaking, I consider this a market mispricing. Okay, by reading just the headline without going into detail, and without looking on month. We're only looking at month on month without looking on year. Okay, so from that perspective, I don't see it as a big issue. In fact, the trend is still on the downward slope from a year-on-year basis, so I don't see it as that big issue. But I would still think that the Federal Reserve will continue to whack the interest rate high, whack the inflation high by hitting a very high interest rate. So I think it's actually a good thing that the market now presents to us some opportunity, and I don't think this, over the next unless tomorrow suddenly everybody come to the same conclusion, Mr. Lu, and suddenly shoot up. I don't think so. Panic will last for a short while. So I let this panic continue to just continue to drive a little bit. Remember what I say is that too much of fear takes away the fear from fear, right? So right now everybody reading headlines just reacted to it. How many people actually will go and read this detailed report? You think? How many people? Right? To read the actual numbers and look at analyze the detail. Okay, realize that this part is not so bad, this one is so good, that kind of thing. I think very few people will do that. They just read news headline and react to it. So in that sense, I think there's some overreaction, okay, to the stock market. So I wouldn't be too, only Lou will have to read all these things. Because when I read the report, some of the news agency actually reported wrongly. So it is actually quite serious when I saw that. Oh wow, then I actually realized that this news agency reported the stock market actually fell. Sorry, not stock market fell. The inflation rose at a slower rate. The other one outrightly say the inflation rose at a higher rate. One of them had to be right, one of them had to be wrong. So I then have to go and look at it. I was like, oh wow, that's the reason why. Okay, don't forget, last month the whole stock market rallied on what news? The whole stock market rallied when the headline inflation went down, which is what is happening today. But today, when the headline inflation went down, the whole stock market crashed. Why? Because the emphasis last month, the top line was last month was the inflation rate, which was at 9.1%, fell to 8.5%. So it fell. Okay. This time around, it fell to 8.3%. But the other thing that's more eye-grabbing was that month on month it went up. Right. So I think there's just a massive panic reading of headline news without going to details, because reading of such report is actually quite boring, to be frank. Yeah. So you look at all these numbers. February 8.8%, 1.2%, 0.3%, 1%, 1%, 0% last month, 0.1%. What's the difference between 0 and 0.1? I don't think there's a very big difference between 0 and 0.1. And people reacted on that. I think the real reason is that people expected the fall, okay? People expected the fall to be more. I think that's a more. So people expected maybe the crash to be, instead of 8.3, but lower to 8.1. Okay, then instead of falling by so much, it fall lesser than expected. Of course, then the market will react. Okay, so such opportunity to me is very good. Yeah, to me it's very good. So I'm sure we all have different ideas. I am a person who I'm just an opportunist, when the market crash like crazy, I buy and just hold it for a long time. So sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, it doesn't matter, because when I buy, I don't attempt to hit the most bottom of the bottom. Unlike some of you who thinks that you're so freaking smart, you can hit the bottom. Any more rubbish comment, I'll start naming names. Okay? So bottom line is that if you think you can catch the right at the bottom, then you won't be in this channel talking to me. Okay? We're quietly there making a lot of money. But I try to catch the market. When the market has a serious crash, I buy. Okay? Market crash serious, I buy. So as long as I buy them cheap, it's okay. Yeah. I don't really do dollar cost averaging. I actually buy during crashes. And when the market has huge crashes, okay, I buy. Huge crashes, I buy. Today will represent, I think, is a huge crash. Okay, huge crash. It is very tempting to go in right now, but I think the market will still will be on this kind of mood for a short while. So I will let it simmer a little bit before I start going in. I'm getting very ready right now, very ready to go in, but the market hasn't, it just gave up some of the rise on the last few days, so I wouldn't be so in a rush to go in. Okay, to be frank, first of all, you all have to analyze and come. Okay, so the question is simply Charlie, good to see you too. Okay, so the question is, if you say no, Mr. Lu, should I buy or not? Okay, I think the first question is, you first have to agree that actually the stock market did, from a year-on-year perspective, have actually went down. Okay. Second is, the month-on-month increase is not that significant. Okay, it did increase by 0.1%. Statistically, probably insignificant from 0.0%. Okay, the last month that we have a news like that, you know, the whole stock market rally. This month, the stock market have a similar type of news, but maybe not in the same degree as the market expected. The whole stock market crash. So as you can see, right, it's the same thing. Jerome Powell, right, make a big comment that day, that we're going to hit the interest rate really high by to kill the inflation. The first time he said that, the whole stock market crashed for quite some time, and second time he said that the stock market rise. What can we say about it, right? So I think there's a lot of market panic that I'm telling everybody right now. There's no need for panic. There's no need for panic. Okay, there's no need to panic. Market volatility goes up and down with emotions. The same set of news released at different time can mean up or down. We've already seen that earlier, and today I think we've seen it again. I wouldn't be that concerned about this adjustment. The general direction, okay, the general direction of the prices are still, have many components still on a downward pressure. So I think that's a positive sign. Okay, so I wouldn't be so kanchong about it, yeah, at this juncture. Okay, so yeah. So I take a pause right now. Actually, I've got another set of slides which is more exciting that I want to share with everybody. Right? This thing actually distracted a bit. Maybe now I'll take a chance to answer some questions on Facebook. On YouTube, I cannot see your questions. You go to YouTube. On Facebook, I cannot see your question. If you want to go to YouTube, I will be able to see your questions. Okay. All right. Cool. I'm happy that today you have a lot of people coming in. I'm happy to answer some questions. We have more than 1,000 people right now, so combined. Okay, for those who didn't buy earlier when Mr. Lu was buying, you have a second chance coming, I believe. Okay, that's what Sid said. Do you think 75 is likely or 1 full basis point? Unlikely to be 1 full basis point. I think 0.75 basis points is more likely to be the case. What do you think of solar counters? I don't like to stock pick. Very difficult. Should we buy Japanese yen? Let's not. I don't. This one you can say is investment advice. Buying currency is a highly dangerous matter, so I wouldn't go into exchange buying currencies. It's very, very dangerous. This is a good question. How do you overcome setbacks psychologically when you lost 100k in late 90s? It's quite tough. It's quite tough when you actually almost go bankrupt at a very young age. I probably took a long time to overcome it, but fortunately I had a good investment mentor, a financial mentor that helped me out. Okay, is the Nasdaq low enough? What is low enough? As I said, I believe that if your investment strategy is one that you compound over a long period of time, I believe for myself, when market crash big time, I'll go in. Okay, I've answered the question whether the Fed will increase 1% next week. I don't think so. Right now, I think the market has fear of increasing interest rate will not solve the shelter inflation. Will not solve the increased shelter inflation as it will push more people towards renting and consumer. Okay, and there's a comment. Do you think the inflation have peaked? I think it's peaking. Okay, I actually think it's peaking. There's quite a few components, as you can see, it's actually coming down. Yeah, so I do think it's peaking, and I'm not the only one who say it. Okay, I think it'll be good if tomorrow I see more analysts that I follow more closely coming up with comments. But let's take a look. Okay, do you convert SGD to USD, or do you only convert when I want to buy? I only convert when I want to buy. It's almost impossible to speculate on currency. It's very, very dangerous. Yeah, to speculate on currency. Okay. Even oil prices has fallen 20%. CPI is still the same. Cost, other factors have risen 30%. Inflation isn't dropping or isn't dropping fast enough for markets. More rate days ahead. Possible. then you just buy on the decline. Yeah, okay. Expect another round of panic selling like this when the Fed announced next interest rate. Unless the Fed increased the interest rate by 1 full percent, if it increased by 0.75%, I think everybody expected it. Okay, the banks are raising interest rate higher than CPI now. Should we switch from OA to FD? And how do you switch from OA to FD? Right, you can't do that. Keppel Corp finally recovered from back to 6-year peak. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. I don't seem to invest in Dow Jones ETF. No, I don't. Nasdaq and S&P 500 is good enough. Okay. Sorry, personal question. How many hours do you sleep every day? You seem to have a lot on your plate. Yeah, I sleep probably 6 hours a day. When you reach 50 years old, you don't need too much sleep. Yeah, sometimes 5, sometimes 6. Yeah. So yes, there's a lot on my plate. It's something that I'm always thinking about. Okay. Now there are 836 of you just give me YouTube. Please, everybody, click subscribe. Okay, and click the bell so you get notification when I fire a shot. I will notify everybody. So it's in your incentive to click subscribe. Okay, and to click a bell. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So. And of course, click a like. Do you think core inflation, which the Fed can control, is expanding, making Fed having increased interest rate? The Fed is going to increase the interest rate regardless. Okay. The question is really the Fed going to interest rate by how much? Okay. Do you suggest buying Fraser 4.49 green bond? It seems enticing. It does smell like high flux. I don't like stock picking. I say it for the gazillion times. Even bond picking is also stock picking. Okay, I cannot tell when you will face a fatality risk, so I will avoid that. Okay. Do you think U.S. government can afford a 4% interest as the interest burden grows bigger and bigger for U.S. government? Yeah, I think so. I don't think that's the issue. You see, a government cannot go bankrupt on its own currency. Do you realize that? A lot of people say, wow, US debt is so high, US debt is so high. It's in their own dollar. They can print their way out. At most it costs another inflation. Yes. How you convince your wife for putting millions in stocks? Okay. By not touching your money first. Okay. And over time, when she see that you are doing well, then she want to join you. Yes. Mr. Lu thought you said Bitcoin and crypto will crash market, or will crash market. Okay, I don't think I say that crypto and Bitcoin will crash the stock market. I don't think I've said that. Okay, so Mr. Lu, any comments on Singapore property market? Yes, I've invited the best person to come. This Saturday, I've invited Dragon Tan. He will give you the latest. The Singapore market is amazingly red hot. Yeah, red hot is the word. Okay, and that's something he will give on some insight to you guys. If war has some conclusion, year end should be good, but Europe will be in oil crisis. Yes, exactly. Mr. Lu, you buying or not? I'm very itching to buy right now. I'm just waiting, just the market has stabilized a little bit. Mr. Lu, what do you think of the ETF XLU? I don't know what's XLU. I don't monitor every stock. Do you think China will implode with Evergrande? I don't think so. Yeah. Do you realize that the Chinese economy is a war guarded economy, not so easy and highly controlled by the China government? It will go down. I don't think it will implode or explode. Okay. Is a slowdown in decrease in inflation due to government increasing spending? Like Jay Powell want to reduce inflation, but government keep spending more and more. I don't think that impact is there yet. Okay, I don't think so. Do you think oil prices will rise again given US oil reserves are low? I don't know whether US oil reserves are low, but as long as China economy remain shitty, oil prices will be low. Okay, what time is Saturday? 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. If Fed like to hit a final 4% in 2023, what will you do if S&P 5 goes sideways 1-2% growth result? When you hold S&P 500 stock, you must have a very long-term time horizon of, I've said it many times, 10, 20, 30 years time horizon. So, you cannot look at oil. So basically, I look at all these kind of crashes as wonderful opportunity to buy and hold for a long time. Okay. Someone asked me a very important question. Wow, again, there's so many questions. Wait. Do you have whole life insurance? No, I don't. I consider whole life insurance one of the biggest scam from the biggest scam of the life industry. But that's just my one-sided opinion. I consider for myself. Okay, I didn't say for you it is. Okay, I consider for myself it is. Okay. Do you ever take profit in rally? No, I don't. Okay, no, I don't. But I do rebalancing. Mr. Lu, in your view, when US Fed will be able to pivot for interest reduction when inflation is conclusively come down, which is not yet. How do you choose between firing a shot in S&P 500 or Nasdaq? I've described before. What I do is that it's a 1/3, 2/3. That means 2/3 into S&P 500, 1/3 into Nasdaq. Any idea how long Fed would need to take to bring down inflation 2%? Wow, I don't know, man. It's very difficult to tell, right? But this one is really difficult to tell. I would say at least a year. At least a year, I would say. Okay. Mr. Lu, do you turn on Meitu or your skin so perfect? No, it's not. YouTube don't have Meitu function. So I'm 50 years old. Why is that to be perfect? I got sun. What do you call it? Sun spots here. I got laugh wrinkles here. I got no here. Meitu's me. Okay. Do you think market will go down until next Wednesday? Hard to say, really hard to say. Are you following CNBC or Bloomberg or one channel? I follow all news channels, at least 20 of them. I watch them very closely. Which just now I came and read. Wow, convoluted. Even the news channel themselves cannot read the CPI report. Then I realized, okay, don't worry. Thought property transactions are slowing. Is it as red hot as you say? It is. Unbelievably, it is. It's still as red hot. Okay, prices are still crazy. I don't know when my house, my HDB is going to cross a million. I have a double-story maisonette, which is it's HDB, but it's a big house by my standard. By some of your standard, not very high. But a double-story maisonette. The single-story maisonette the single-story executive around my region has already crossed 960,000, but there's nobody buying or selling maisonette here, so I assume that you'll be crossing a million soon. But when property goes up, nobody should be happy. What the hell are our children going to stay in? Yeah. So thank you for sharing today background. Okay. 30 more thousand pass holder will be propping up the real estate market rental. Yes, that will be a big issue. Mr. Wu, just want to say thank you for doing all this. I really, you really appreciate. I really appreciate you guys joining as well. Okay. What newspaper do you read? New York Times, Financial Times. You're very well informed. There's one thing I do quite a lot is I walk a lot. I walk 1 or 2 hours, 2 hours a day on average. And when I walk, I listen to all this news. Am I still having flu? No, I'm not having flu. I said before, I have a sinus. I had a sinus imperfection, meaning that when I was close to 15, 18 years ago, I had a sinus infection that was very bad. So they opened up 2 holes here in my nostril, one as big as AYE and one as big as PIE. And when I talk for too loud and too excited, the ears get blocked. So I got to clear the ear. So you don't mind, I'm perfectly okay right now. Okay. Joseph, hello. Bond prices like BND ETF are 5-year low. Is bond worth considering? Bond, I would say that you don't buy in anticipation going up. You buy as a hedge for stock market, for the equities. Else it's very dangerous. Are you going to use CPF or cash this time? I will try to go into using CPF first, because cash has a lot of alternative, and I want to hold that. Yeah. So I'm going to steal my wife's CPF because my CPF is almost all dried up already. So I'm going to still be the CPF. Okay. Love that you engage well with your audience. So I'm trying to answer a question. Okay. So you think we'll hit a new low at S&P 500? I don't think so. Okay. You are hitting 1,000 live 1,000 live viewers, maybe you can consider singing a song. Good try, guys. Okay, good try. Okay, another day. You know what? If I hit 1,000 live viewers, I'll sing a song this week. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Someone said something about Adam Khoo. Masonette is limited edition HDB, so it should cross $1 million soon. I don't even want to say I hope so. I'm very, very worried that, you know, with the prices rising so fast, our children won't be able to afford it. Then we will have a Hong Kong crisis in time to come. US talking about sanction Indonesia because buying oil from Russia. What do you think? Oh, I never seen that news, and maybe I'll take a look later. Is it true what Adam Khoo say? What Adam Khoo say that market is set for a big recovery in second half of 2022? I am in line with Adam Khoo directionally. I am in no ability to judge whether is it a big rally or a rally. I think that I use the word recovery. Okay. Looking forward to you to singing English song if possible. Adam Khoo is very smart. Oh yes, he's a very brilliant guy as well. Yes. Midterm election plus red hot inflation. I don't even think the inflation is red hot anymore. You know, it is inflation, but I don't think it's. I wouldn't consider it red hot. Yeah. I want to talk about Ukraine-Russian war. I prepared the whole slides already, but this whole hot topic came out. So I probably change the topic to tomorrow. Okay. I've got the slides already to talk about it. It's very exciting to see what's happening to Ukraine and Russia right now, and there are stock market implications. Yeah. Nvidia price is down almost 50%. No, it's not because of chip war. Nvidia, if I'm not wrong, got banned by US government to export to China, and that's why I think that's the issue. Will you use some cash for Amundi? Since the charges are lower than S&P 500, I will use CPF first. I'll change those from CPF out first if I can. Winter coming, so oil prices will go up. I think gas prices will go up. Maybe not so much oil prices. What do you think of Yishun ground floor hitting 1 million? Ang Mo Kio BTOs oversubscribed. Cross 750. How are young people 3 to 4K afford such thing? Exactly. Therefore, I don't think I'm the only one that can see it. Government who are very bright can see this also. If the government don't act on it, then something must be wrong. Yeah. Mr. Lu, do you think it's bad to invest in American S&P 500 because America like to cause trouble in Middle East, all this? When it comes to investment, I got no morals on that. Okay? Anybody who try to... This is a controversial topic, okay? This is a controversial topic. I'm going to use the church as I'm a Christian, so I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this as an example. Okay, you know, there's a lot of pastors. They try to combine. I'm treading on thin ice here, so please forgive me. There are a lot of, especially the pastors, they try to combine business and religion together. Okay, hoping that they probably started from a good heart, so that they don't need to invest. Sorry, they don't need to ask so much money from a congregation, because pastors usually has asked for tithing, so that tithing will sustain the running of the church and the salary and so on. But whenever I see that happening, pastors combining business and religion together, wow, it gets very complicated. Most of the time it crash and burn. Some of the pastors go to jail, which you know what I meant, okay, and all this. So when they try to, you all agree that religion, try not to combine religion with business, religion and money, which also says that investment and morals don't put it together. There are a lot of people say, oh, I want to combine. I'm a very pro-green kind of person. Therefore, I want to combine green with my investment. Okay, you may not know this, but one of the best investment on earth are the sinful stock in the past. Sinful stocks, the casinos of the world, the alcohols of the world, the cigarettes of the world, drugs of the world, or whatever. all of them are damn good stocks. Now I don't stock pick, so don't say that Mr. Lu said these are good stocks, so I go and buy. I didn't ask you to do that. Whoever said I do that, I slap you and sorry to say that. And please don't say it. But this one, I said, okay, my father, he's not well educated. He's educated, don't get me wrong, but he's not well educated in finance. But he knows this, okay, he knows it. He knows that the sinful stocks generate a huge amount of dividends. So what he did was that he plowed a lot of his CPF, which at 55 years old, he plowed a lot of CPF into sinful stocks. So he bought a lot of alcohol stocks, bought a lot of cigarette stocks, okay? And then he every year collects a hell lot of dividends, okay? And he, now he's in 80s, very comfortable and well-to-do by his standard. So therefore, just because US caused a lot of trouble, sinful in nature, so-called sinful in nature, okay, so therefore I don't want to buy their stocks. 跟自己的钱过意不去. I say this again before, I say it again now. A lot of you hate the government, BAB. A lot of you hate the CPF. You can hate the government, you can hate the CPF, but you must love their money. So therefore, when the CPF give you 4% interest, you take or don't take. Yeah, you so sane, right? Yeah, don't take Don't take. Okay, you maintain your moral values. Don't take I want to take Maybe my moral standing very low. Okay. No, even though I recognize that the US, US has a lot of faults and a lot of caused a lot of chaos and all this, but their stock market will do well. Of course I take. Yeah, why 跟钱过意不去做什么? Yeah, I didn't ask you to do something illegal. Don't get that wrong. But when it comes to morals, try to distance morals and investment. Now, when it's clear-cut immoral, let's say, I don't think it's heaven. There is let's say, there's this company called OnlyFans. It's essentially a porn site, very profitable porn site. Okay, if OnlyFans get listed in the stock market, I won't buy it. That to me is crossing line. It's a bit grey, okay, bit grey, but that's crossing the line. But alcohol, sinful, US, moral value. This one sorry, my moral value not that high. Okay, you agree with me? Try not to mix moral and investment together. Yes. I have a friend retiree, every day curse the government, but all his money he put in CPF don't take out. Take the money, go lim kopi and complain government no good. Exactly, right? Double standard, right? Okay, it's okay to have double standard, for me, 不要跟钱过意不去, okay? Yeah, so some of you are, Mr. Lu, if US go into recession, will it affect stock market? If US go to recession, the immediate effect, the whole stock market will go up. Because when the US go into recession, the entire inflation cools down. This is exactly what we need now. We need a good recession. Yeah, we need a good recession. Money is money. All money is good money. Okay, maybe I won't go that far, but most money are good money. Okay. So many people cut but still milk the system. Exactly. Okay. What are the alcohol stocks? I won't name it. Then later people say I go and buy. I tell you go and buy. Okay, but my father bought a lot of these alcohol stocks. Okay. Are you sticking to a view that market has bottomed? I don't think it's like cast in stone that market has bottomed. But from what all the signs I've seen, yes. Unless some new things come up, new things come up and market can crash, of course. Tomorrow this freaking Putin fire 10 nuclear missiles into Ukraine, stock market should crash big time. But that I cannot see, right? Yes. What do you think of history? In what context? Okay. Saw your interview on TVPS YouTube talking about CPF. Oh, is it? It's out already. Can you TH, can you email me the link? I didn't know. I was waiting for it to come up in Chinese, right? Okay. Can you send that link to me? Just email me at luchengchuan@gmail.com. Okay. Need a good recession, blah blah blah. Okay. What do you think of history? September, October tend to see market crashes. There are reasons why some of this seasonality happen. Okay. But I wouldn't be too serious about it. Yeah, just bear in mind that this is one of the 20 factors that can cause. Yeah. My father is smart. No wonder you're honest in the economics. My father is a school teacher. He's a great school teacher. Yes. Malaysia EPF pays 6%, Singapore pay 4%. That is true, but you gotta adjust it by the exchange rate. Yeah. Okay. Mr. Lu, go too fast. Any guidance that if Ukraine claim back more territory, you lead to a possible rally? Watch my YouTube, watch my live tomorrow. I'll talk about that. I've already prepared the slides already. Okay. Federal Reserve will start reducing interest rate when inflation shows solid sign. How they define solid sign of falling? 3 months consecutively, or some of these things is more an art than a science. Okay. But I would say that if there's a sustained inflation decline, from 9.1 to 8.5, 8.8, 8.3, 8.3 to 8.1, 8.9 to 7.5, then it's very, very clear already. Yeah. So what time tomorrow? Probably 9-ish. Okay. So we ask Powell. Okay. What other comments are there? Your father as in the biological father or the church father? Biological father lah. Biological father is a teacher. Okay. Okay. Okay, so why can't CPF pay 6%? It's 4% is good enough. Why don't pay 10%? Why don't pay 20%? It's a number, right? Okay. Yeah. So anyway, just to put things into context, okay, the main essence for today is number one, yes, there is a small increase in the inflation rate, okay, month on month of 0.1%, 0.1%, okay, and that is the backdrop of a whole string of inflation that are significantly higher. But in July it was 0, now it's 0.1. 0.1 and 0.0 is statistically quite insignificant, so don't ganjong. The second point to note is that from a high of 9.1% inflation rate, it has dropped to about 8.5, then now dropped to 8.3. Inflation is coming down. Okay, directionally is down. So don't panic. Okay, don't panic. Investors' emotions and sentiment are always headline driven. Okay, so headline driven, but if you then can see and read through all this kind of emotionalism, it's okay, right? Now, huge market crashes to me is a wonderful opportunity for me to go in and buy. Okay, I didn't tell you what you can do, but for me, I'm now armed and ready. Okay, maybe for those people in the army, I'll use this analogy. Okay, I will. In the past, I just hold the magazine in my hand. Now I've loaded in and I've cocked the weapon and put to safe, ready to fire. Okay, ready to fire. Charlie, good morning. Okay, load and ready. Yes. All right, cool. Okay, so and when I buy, I don't aim to buy at the lowest point possible because I'm not God. I cannot tell. For those smart aleck, that say that Mr. Lu, I told you not to buy whatsoever, unless you are smarter than me and have the foresight of God to know exactly when is the bottom. Okay, then go ahead. Yeah. But as for me, all I need to do is, hey Jackie, good to see you. Okay, yeah, Jackie. Now I know Jackie already. Okay, yeah. So I think it is absolutely okay right now to watch and see. Okay, and when there's opportunistically, I actually will go in. Okay. Yes. Okay. Fire, watch your front. Okay, good. Okay, so there are thousand over people today across Facebook and YouTube. I strongly encourage everybody relax. There's no need for panic. Okay, no, it's not a panic. Nothing significantly has changed, right? So at least nothing significant has changed. Okay, now let's say as I said, the only thing I can think of is let's say suddenly OPEC decide to cut back on the supply and ramp up the prices big time. That is a black swan event. Then that's a different story. Ukraine suddenly lost the war big time and Putin fire 10 nuclear missiles over. Then that's a different story. Okay, barring those events happening, what's happening right now, there's no need to panic. No need to panic. Okay, cool. Just to put things in perspective. Okay, Ken? Okay, with this, there are 965 of you in YouTube. Everybody, please click subscribe and bell. When I fire my shots, I will inform everybody. But if you didn't hit subscribe and the bell, you won't know because stupid YouTube won't notify you, right? So please hit like and subscribe. Okay, like, subscribe, and the bell, the alert bell. Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Good. Okay. With this, thank you. All right. Oh, Jennifer, good to see you. Okay. Good night, everybody. Appreciate your time with me. Okay. What's my new Facebook page? I always talk on. Yeah. Okay. And hours to fire is too slow. Yeah, it is true. Okay, invest on what you can afford to lose. Yes. Okay. Okay. Good night, everybody. Appreciate all your time. Okay. Good night. Okay. Thanks, Facebook. Okay. Good night on YouTube. Yes. Good night. Okay. Good night, everybody. Arabs. Okay. Take ginger tea. Arabs take it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. Good night, everybody. King, AA, Jimmy, good night. Jackie, good night also. Terence, Louis, good night, everybody. Okay, good night. Okay, yeah. Okay, good night. Okay, appreciate your time with me. Okay, good night, everybody. Okay, really good night. Okay, good night. Good night, everybody. Albert, good night to you. Keith, good night. Heng King, good night. Keith, good night. Yeah, I lost the show. Well, just watch it when you replay. Okay, yes. Good night, everybody. Good night. Okay, good night. Good night.